The National Basketball Association's Rookie of the Year award is an annual National Basketball Association award given to the top rookie or rookies of the regular season. Initiated following the 1952-1953 NBA season, it confers the Eddie Gottlieb Trophy, named after the former Philadelphia Warriors head coach. There's been a lot of talent coming into the league lately. It's been a lot of fun to watch. We have the greatest prospect the sport has ever seen, along with another 7-foot kid named Chet Holmgren, Shai Gilgeous. They're teamed up, and Anthony Edwards might actually be the rebirth of Michael Jordan. I say all this because the NBA seems to always have a large cachet of talent inflexing, right? There's always super talented guys coming out of college, and a few of them actually make a splash their rookie NBA year. Now, who do you begin to think about when you think of the greatest rookies of all time? A lot of people say LeBron James. I mean, the hatred that LeBron received from these interviews that I want to plug in here, but I don't know if I should waste my time. Darius Miles, the whole Cavs team was just hating on him, and he dominated at 18 years old. Some people might say Magic Johnson. Super flashy, great with the ball, was able to play 1 through 5, and when Kareem went out early in his career, he was able to carry his team and win a championship very early on. Speaking of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had probably one of the greatest rookie seasons of all time. But for me, there's only one rookie I can think of that is the greatest rookie of all time.
Barring the unforeseen, the first selection will almost certainly be LSU's Shaquille O'Neal.
The Orlando Magic selects Shaquille O'Neal from Louisiana State University.
I know. I'm going to get a lot of slack for this, especially considering what Kareem, Magic, dang, even Larry Bird had an incredibly great rookie year. And I will admit that in a sense, I'm not just going solely off their first year, but also their sophomore year. Nobody faced more adversity and had more weight on their shoulders than Shaquille O'Neal his freshman and sophomore year. I say, Keegan, what are you talking about? LeBron had the weight of the world on his shoulders. Zion Williamson even had more weight than Shaq. And I would say you're wrong. Shaq would walk into the NBA and average 23 and 14. And it wasn't just averaging the 23 and 14. It's who he was averaging 23 and 14 against. He was playing against the greatest centers the league has ever seen. And absolutely nobody could stop him. A young Shaq was as ferocious, as mean, would rebound, block shots, and finish with the best of them. And it was in year 2, he would take the Orlando Magic all the way to the NBA Finals, where he would square off against the greatest center of all time, Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon.
Olajuwon and O'Neal set for the opening tip. The official Joe Crawford with the ball. And we're underway.
A title fight between Shaquille O'Neal and Hakeem Olajuwon in their collective primes would have been an event for the ages, a match of mega proportions that could only be made in heaven, basketball heaven. The raw energy created from a Shaq attack versus the Dream at their best would equal the amount of energy released by a supernova exploding at its very climax. There simply were no other more dominant NBA big men in the last 30 years. It would be a show that exhibited two very different but dominant styles, the Shaq attack versus the Dream Shake. It is 4 rings versus 2 and 18 seasons versus 9 in the end. It's the unrivaled brute strength of King Kong versus Godzilla with the brain. Both these centers dominated their tenures in the NCAA and were their number 1 picks in the NBA draft, where they each won multiple NBA championships. But the unfair advantage would be for Hakeem, considering how long he had been in the league. You're talking about a middle-aged, in his prime, top 2 center of all time versus a sophomore kid out of LSU. This is the equivalent of expecting Kobe to take the Lakers to the finals against the Bulls and beat MJ in his prime. Kobe would have been nowhere near ready for that. And as a matter of fact, no NBA rookie would have been ready for that. That's why Shaquille O'Neal, to me, has the greatest freshman and sophomore season in NBA history. Shaquille would go on to average 28 points, 12 rebounds, and 6.5 assists against Hakeem Olajuwon. However, they would end up getting swept as Olajuwon was named NBA Finals MVP after averaging 32, 11, and 5. The stats were very comparable, and when you really talk about the teams, the Rockets had the better team, and they took advantage of a year where Michael Jordan left to go do whatever it was Michael Jordan was doing. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Horace Grant was a scrub. Not to mention, Penny Hardaway was really pegged to be one of the greatest of all time. He was playing like it as well. The Penny, Shaq, and Horace Grant trifecta was pretty crucial, I'm not gonna lie. But was Shaq old enough to lead the Orlando Magic against Hakeem Olajuwon and the Rockets? Only his second year in the league? I don't know. That's for you guys to decide. For now, if you want to argue, go ahead and leave those comments down below. It's your boy Keegan, back with another banger. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one.